Okay, in this video I'll be taking apart this Murray Select 22-inch mower. It's roughly 21 years old. And I was using it and I started to hear a knocking sound, which to me was a connecting rod. A few minutes later I heard a loud clunk and then it stalled right out. And now when I pull the start cord it pulls extremely easy, but you can see the engine's trying to turn over but there's like no compression. So that's telling me the connecting rod is no longer connected to the piston. So I'm going to take this whole engine apart and we're going to take a look inside. Okay, as I expected, and it's not pretty, the connecting rod broke off. You can see where it goes on the crank. There's the crankshaft. And the connecting rod, I don't know if you can see it, is laying down way back in there. So the connecting rod broke off and then it slammed into the side of the housing and blew the side out. That's typical. When you hear a knocking like that, and then all of a sudden you hear a big clunk, the connecting rod. Okay, I'm getting a little closer into this mess. Took the flywheel nut off. Used my homemade flywheel puller. I made this with my homemade welder. Welded that nut in the backside, drilled it out, and it's a good all-purpose flywheel puller. Flywheel's removed. I got this mess of a hole. Busted connecting rod, as I expected. Valves are perfect, no cracks. And here's the head. There's the header popped off. There it is. There's my connecting rod failure. Alright, so this busted off. I got to make sure I find all the fragments that came off. And this came off. This came off of that side. Like that. And I'm missing a piece. I got to find that. I could find a used connecting rod laying around. Change the connecting rod back out. Put everything back together. Okay, here's everything disassembled. I have all my parts laid out. Got the piston. Look how clean that is, 21 years. We had a little bit of scale, I wire brushed it. Perfect, the rings are perfect still, it's incredible. This is the valve cover. My flywheel. There's the connecting rod. I found 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sections it broke into. And I made sure there's no pieces left inside to screw it up later on. So I gotta get a new connecting rod and put it back together. Okay, got the connecting rod on, a new one. The rings are perfect condition, the piston's perfect, and the wall of the cylinder is in perfect condition. I relapped the valves so they seat perfectly, and now I'm going to start putting everything back together. Okay, I was very fortunate to have a friend of mine that had an old engine laying around that had bad piston rings. I'll change the cover out, regrind the valves, and put it all back together, and I should be good to go. Alright, I have the head back on, all cleaned. I honed out the cylinder. I lapped both valves. I have the new connecting rod in place. And I have a new upper housing without a hole in it, so I won't have to patch my other one. I also changed out the seal for the upper shaft seal. Engine's all back together. I honed out the cylinder. I reground the valves, put a new top part of the engine on, and we're going to give it a shot. Okay, let's give it a shot.